Jim asked me to talk a little bit about build versus buy decisions, so if I go over time, I'm blaming him. He asked us because we made a similar decision to what a lot of banks and credit unions make today when figuring out how to address a certain problem. A couple years ago, we made a buy decision to go to market much faster with a mobile application process that I'm going to show you today. And it's really important. Andera as a company continues to work with a lot of partners in the space, a lot of the new emerging technologies, a lot of them that you've seen on this stage today, to make sure we're bringing to market as fast as possible and maturing technologies so that they can be used in the real world. So what I'm going to show you today is the best mobile application process that you will find on any bank or credit union's website today. Not to say it's the best that it can possibly be. The best that it's possibly be are actually in our top secret lab sites that I'm not allowed to show you. But I can show you the stuff that people are actually using today. So it couldn't be a better time to talk about these things. You know, considering I went through my Google News feed today, and pretty much every other article was about the government's new healthcare.gov application process disaster and how no one can sign up for their healthcare plans. And you think that the government has spent billions of dollars building this incredibly complex healthcare overhaul, but all you read about is the application process. Why is that? It's because the first impression means everything. And whether you're signing up for a healthcare plan or a new bank account, the first impression for your customers is during that application process. So with the 6 minutes I have left, let's see if I can breeze through this and open an account at a brand new bank, do all the steps possible. And we're going to start it off with a mobile responsive design site so that all of the data points, all the information I need as an applicant are displayed in an easy to read fashion. All the fields I need to fill out are easy to input, and I can read everything with up and down scrolling. We're going to start off with the bare basic minimums that we're going to need to qualify the applicant so that they know that they are able to open up this checking account. You know, these are the fields that we need to prove to Uncle Sam that you're not a terrorist and prove that you haven't been kiting checks out there. And so we'll hit submit, and we'll take those bare minimal fields, and we'll pass them through a number of third-party vendors in real time to verify that information and do all of those checks. So this is actually one of my favorite parts. It seems pretty mundane, but what's actually going on behind the scenes here is we're adding at least 15 minutes back into our lives. Because what this is replacing is actually someone in the back office typing this information to no less than 3 different systems, trying to make sure you're not on an OFAC or government watch list report, trying to make sure you haven't been cutting checks, and there hasn't been any risk issues with allowing you to open up that checking account. So as I fill time, as my internet catches up with me, I'll talk a little bit more about the responsive design site. A couple of these fields are really important. So the social security number, these are all data points that have to go to those vendors. So the vendors that you're using in the branch today, you've got check systems, you've got the OFAC government watch list checks as well. So you're going to have those data points. You're also going to have the date of birth, as well as the address. Here at the bottom of the page is something really, really important, and that's the username and password. We're creating a secure portal so we can deliver all of your documents, your paper, your disclosures, the things that normally you'd have to print out and have to have a printer to do. We're going to deliver to a secure site so you can download them, save them to your computer, or print them out later, so you don't have to have a printer connected to your iPhone. I'm just going to switch off the internet and see if my 3G is going to do a little bit better job for me. And come back in here. There we go. 3G, perfect. So this is that part that I was talking about. It seems a little simple, but it's actually saving you a lot of time. And at the end, I'm generating custom offers based off who I am as a person, so I don't have to sit through a 10-minute sales conversation with someone talking to me about additional financial services products that I really don't need and I really don't care about. So we actually picked up a lot of time there in the real world. And on the next page, I'll see the great news. I'm qualified for that checking account I've applied for. And I'll also see a product that's actually really relevant to me, cross-sold to me in the context of this application. So I'll continue on with my checking account, and we're just going to need a couple more pieces of information. These are the things we're going to pass through verification vendors so that we can know who you are in real time in this process. And again, as I mentioned, it's really important to have a good network of partners because the pace of change of technology is so fast that we're going to be able to really improve the way that these fields are input from a mobile device moving forward. Well, that's awkward. And I really didn't get to the cool part. But as we go through that process, this is really the best way to display that information. We're going to get to a part in that process where we turn the screen on the device on so you can sign with your finger all those documents you used to have to print off, you used to have to find a mail. And I used to have to go through that process, literally go to a library, find a printer, then I had to print out the device, then I had to go to the post office because I don't own stamps, and I had to put that in the mail. Those were all the problems with the account opening experience. That's all solved with what you can do on mobile technologies today with touchscreens and iPads, iPhones, Android devices, all the devices that are out there. The next step in that process is to just turn the camera on the device on and take a picture of all the important supporting documents that are needed for many of the complex financial services products that are out there. So in that part, we're saving at least another week onto our process. Because I used to have to find someone who still owned a fax machine, and I had to call up my dad to have him explain to me how that works. And I had to fax in my driver's license. I had to fax in my passport. I had to fax in a utility bill, all of these supporting documents, because we live in a very heavily regulated industry. It's really important that we collect a lot of information before we open a financial services product for somebody. So it's not just a matter of making the most simplest form in the world and collecting 2 fields because you can open an account with 2 fields. It's about how do you get all that complex data that you truly do need from your IT departments, from your security folks, from all the regulators who want to make sure you know your customers, to make sure that they are not going to be a risk to the bank or a risk to the country as a whole. So we have the technology to do that, and again, the pace of change is so fast with the technology that's out there that it is really important to have that network, to be able to partner, not just to build, so that you can bring all of the emerging technologies into the space in a mature fashion that satisfies all the regulatory needs and allows you to sell financial services product just like it's any other type of product. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.